Cyclists are gathering near Lime Ridge Mall tonight to remember one of their own. A man named Brian Woods was killed last week riding his bike on Upper Wentworth. A memorial white bike is being placed near the spot where he died as a tribute. Matt Ingram is there and joins us live with more. Matt.
Phil, just moments ago, a convoy of riders came from Southern Park. They arrived here. I'm on the northeast corner of Upper Wentworth overpass in the Link. They arrived here with a white bike without a wheel, symbolizing that it's not riding anymore. They've just now attached it to a pole. I'm going to step out of the way so you can take a look at what's happening. They're chaining it to this light pole right here, and family and friends are hanging flowers and signs. It's been very emotional, very somber, a very large turnout to remember Brian and his life. And today, his family spoke with me briefly about the kind of life he lived. Loving husband, father, and grandfather. Sports fan with a great sense of humor. A man who would give you the shirt off his back. That's how 52-year-old Brian Woods is being remembered today by his daughter, Amanda Strong. She wrote in a message to CHCH News, he left behind so many family members who he had taken under his wing to help them through rough times in their lives. We all loved him so much. Woods was killed last Tuesday morning in a collision with a gray van on the Upper Wentworth overpass at the Lincoln Alexander Parkway. He was riding his bike to his job at Lime Ridge Mall, where Strong says he worked for many years. Police told CHCH News today that no charges have been laid and the investigation remains ongoing. Strong says the family is hoping more witnesses come forward.
We are all cyclists. We are all together in this.
June Nogami from Advocacy for Respect for Cyclists didn't know Woods, but he has helped organize a memorial ride which begins at Southern Park and will end near the site of the crash. A so-called ghost bike will be installed as a memorial for him. He says he wants to help raise awareness about cyclist safety, motivated by a recent surge in pedestrian deaths in the city.
There's been quite a bit of awareness, even in Toronto, about the number of pedestrian deaths in Hamilton.
Woods is the 12th pedestrian or cyclist killed so far this year. Compare that to last year, where 9 died total, and that number was the most deaths in years.
I'd like to see any kind of protected bike lane.
Streets, infrastructure needs to catch up to where Hamilton's at right now.
Lawyer David Shelnut calls the number of deaths this year staggering and shocking, saying more protected bike lanes and cycling infrastructure is needed. He also believes the province should pass the Protecting Vulnerable Road Users Act, which was introduced in 2018 but never made it past first reading.
It provides penalties, like actual penalties if you hurt or kill somebody behind the wheel. As it stands right now, if you hurt somebody behind the wheel, you get a $100 ticket that probably gets tossed out in provincial court.
There's been a line of people who have come by to hang up their flowers or signs, take photos, have a small moment to reflect on their good friend Brian. The family is here too. They're very shooken up and not going to be able to speak with us tonight, as I'm sure we can understand. This is a very large turnout. Organizers weren't sure how many people were going to show up. The Facebook group for this only had about 30 registered. Well, it looks like every single one of them came. It's a very personal thing from what I hear from cyclists. It's dangerous out there on these roads, and when one of them is killed in this way, it affects them all. Now, this is the second ghost bike that's been installed in Hamilton. In 2015, one was installed on the Claremont Access for Jay Keddy. Jay Keddy, he was a teacher who was killed in a collision there back in 2015.